Gaming is culture.
You fucking whiny whore.
Gaming.
Can turn off the music, I guess. Alrighty.
Of two high school football players from Utah who got involved in an African coup and were sentenced to death in a military tribunal.
Oof.
Okay, that's not the catchiest title of all time. Maybe we'll just call it Congo Confusion or something. The young men at the center of the story are Marcel Malanga and Tyler Thompson, students of the Copper Hills High School classes of 2020 and 2021, respectively. They came to know each other through the football team, where they bonded over their similar intensity. But after high school, they went their separate ways. Marcel went to Southern Virginia.
Do you think these are Mormons and they got sent there on mission?
University to play football, while Tyler stayed in Salt Lake City and worked as a DoorDash driver. And after his freshman year at SVU didn't work out, Marcel dropped out and returned to Utah, where he began reselling jewelry and cars through his company Cool Boys LLC. I don't really have a right to judge these guys. I'm a YouTuber, for God's sake. But everything changed for them in 2024, and it all has to do with Marcel's father, Christian Malanga. When Marcel was born, his parents were both living in Utah, but his dad was originally from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's right, those of you who know and love my dictator videos will remember my coverage of the country that was previously known as Zaire. That was still the case when Christian Malanga was born there in 1983, although the country was well on its way to collapse. When he was 10 years old, Christian and his family moved to a refugee camp in Swaziland, and 5 years later they moved to Salt Lake City as political refugees. So he grew up there, graduated high school, and eventually opened a car dealership, reportedly claiming to be the first black man to own a car dealership in Utah. Honestly, I would have believed you.
Why is that always an accomplishment, dude? Like, oh my god, a black person did something. We have to celebrate it. Like, why is that? Like, we literally carve out, like, this special little, you know, award for any black person that does anything. It's like, oh, look, countless other people have done this shit, but a black person did it too. It's like, oh my god, man, really? Why don't we give credit to the 50th person to open a car dealership, or the 100th, or, you know, the 1,000,000th? But no, because they're black, they're special. It's like, it's actually pathetic, man. It's like celebrating when your pet learns to shake. You know, here's your treat, good boy.
If you told me he was the first black man to enter Utah. At some point in this process, he met a woman named Brittany Sawyer, and the two of them had Marcel. But all was not normal in the Malanga family, as Christian was charged with a number of crimes in the early 2000s, including assault with a deadly weapon and 2 counts of domestic violence.
Shit.
By 2006, he decided he was done with America and returned to his home country, now renamed the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And if you remember my dictator video, you'll recall that the Democratic Republic of the Congo was not at all democratic. It wasn't even much of a republic at this point, because it was still reeling from the Second Congo War, which killed somewhere around 5.5 million people. Sounds like the perfect time to move there. A lot of cheap real estate. Christian Malanga spent a few years in the Congolese military before founding a successful mining company. But he soon clashed with the country's president, Joseph Kabila, who was extremely corrupt, just like everyone who has ever run that country. Supposedly, Christian Malanga tried to run against Kabila and spoke out against voter fraud, which resulted in the government arresting him and torturing him for 10 days. This caused Christian to develop a limp and a passionate hatred for the government of his home country. So he founded the United Congolese Party and traveled the world building support for his unsanctioned political party. But while he was on that grind set, his son was growing up without a father in Salt Lake City, although Christian did return to
As they do.
the United States a few times over the years. Not to pay his outstanding child support, but just to say hello. Marcel even visited his dad in Africa a few times, where he was treated like a king due to the success of Christian's mining company. During these trips, Christian would even provide Marcel with any drugs he wanted, which must have been a lovely father-son bonding experience. Pass the pipe, Dad. Needless to say, Marcel had a complex relationship with his father. On the one hand, he hated Christian for
Dude, all I can say is some stereotypes exist for a reason.
abandoning their family and not paying child support, but on the other hand,
That's
he
all
loved him
I'm
for
gonna
providing him with
say.
narcotics. So how did everything go so wrong? By 2022, Marcel was working at a construction and roofing company. I guess Cool Boys LLC was experiencing a bit of a downturn. But he and his father were cooking up some big plans. In 2023, Marcel began reaching out to his friends to see if anyone was interested in a job that would take them to Africa. And, unsurprisingly, nobody was. So Marcel started upping the incentives, eventually posting a selfie on his Snapchat story with the caption, "If you want to make 50 to 100K, message me. Warriors only." That's right, all the non-warriors in the Utah area need not apply. As I'm sure you can guess, the only one who took him up on the offer was his old high school football teammate, Tyler Thompson, who at this point was working at the same construction and roofing company as Marcel. But despite Marcel's Snapchat promise, Tyler agreed to do this for around 15 to 20K instead of 50 to 100. Gotta work on your negotiating, Ty. But regardless, they were now a team, so Marcel brought his old pal into the fold and revealed what he and his dad were planning. At this point, Christian Malanga was running what he considered to be a government in exile, based across the world and meeting in places like Brussels and Washington, D.C. He called this government New Zaire, repurposing the old flag as his own. I guess he was longing for the good old days of Mobutu, when the corruption was just as bad, but the president had a cool hat. As you can imagine, the ultimate plan was to overthrow the government of the DRC and create New Zaire. To do this, they would need weapons, which was somehow a responsibility that fell upon two American
Dude, they're gonna make Akon City.
guys in their early 20s. So Marcel and Tyler went on a series of side quests to gather weaponry. First, they purchased guns from a private seller in Utah, which they would try out at a local shooting range. Then Marcel flew to Los Angeles to buy a drone. This drone was normally used for shooting video, but a week later, Marcel purchased a flamethrower attachment to go with it. Meanwhile,
Dude, this honestly does sound like the most African shit ever.
Tyler bought another drone with a release mechanism, planning to use it to drop bombs. To acquire these bombs, they visited a man named Pete Moser, who was an old friend of Christian Malonga's. Christian had already briefed him about the plan, with documents later revealing a text exchange in which Christian said, "In the next month, my team and I will be ready for change in DRC." To which Moser replied, "What are you talking about? The Congo Special?" Prompting the reply, "Yes, Pete, the Congo Special." For God's sake, Pete, keep your voice down about the Congo Special. Pete Moser helped the boys assemble the drones and taught them the basics of making a pipe bomb. He had gathered all the materials, including shrapnel for extra damage, and said he would ship it all to Africa for the boys to pick up. All they had to do was get gunpowder and assemble the bombs once they were there. So in April of 2024, with everything ready to go, the boys packed their bags and Tyler's mom drove them to Salt Lake Airport for a flight to South Africa. In those bags were some drones, 2 handguns, and a flamethrower. Tyler told his mom he was getting a free trip to South Africa to help Christian make drone maps of his mining operation. She later said, "I honestly thought it was going to be a great growing experience for him." Alright, be safe, son. Don't forget your flamethrower. The boys flew to South Africa and actually spent 2 weeks just seeing the sights.
I wonder how they got through TSA.
Glad they found time to enjoy themselves.
I mean, maybe although I don't know. If he was driving DoorDash, then it wasn't pre-9/11.
Before launching a coup on a foreign government. But instead of flying home to Utah afterwards, they flew to Angola and paid someone to drive them to the border of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. There, Marcel reunited with his father, and they all drove to the nation's capital, Kinshasa. Tyler told his parents that he had caught malaria, and Christian agreed to extend the trip so they could get the mapping done. Alright, son, good luck with the malaria. Say hi to your friend's absentee father. In a safe house on the outskirts of Kinshasa, Christian and the boys assembled pipe bombs and finished planning the coup. With them was actually one other American, Christian's right-hand man, Benjamin Zalman Polan. Christian and Benjamin...
Dude, they actually thought they could overthrow a fucking government with a flamethrower drone. Like, dude, this is the most African shit ever. Like, what the fuck?
Met at an international business conference in DC 10 years prior, and I guess they started planning some international business of their own. But still, they needed more muscle than 4 guys. Christian had already recruited a few locals, and those guys then went to a nearby village and filled a bus with random volunteers who agreed to join the cause. Probably just for money, considering that 2 of them refused to participate after Christian gave a motivational speech to the group explaining the plan. An enraged Christian allegedly stabbed one of the defectors in response, which I'm sure was a sign to everyone else that they were fighting for a good cause. To reassure the group, Christian told them that the coup was being backed by the United States. See, look, they sent us 2 21-year-olds. Apparently, the American government also didn't send any equipment, because Christian had his group raid a nearby police station, where they stole a few AK-47s, and Christian assaulted a female officer for good measure. They also had to steal a bus from a local university after Christian's previous bus driver fled in the middle of the night. Seems like a real tight-knit squad he put together. Christian even had the men surround a civilian's Land Rover, at which point Christian shot the civilian in the head and stole his vehicle. Don't worry, it's a group bonding exercise. Finally, it was time for the action to begin. On May 19th, 2024, they launched a coup that set out to kill not only the president of the DRC, but the defense minister and economic minister too. By this time, the president was Felix Tshisekedi, who was, you guessed it, also corrupt. Joseph Kabila had made a secret deal with Tshisekedi to rig the election in his favor, after several attempts by Kabila to rewrite the constitution so he could serve more terms. Yeah, this country's in great shape, guys. Anyway, the coup began with Christian and his militia showing up at the house of the defense minister at about 4:30 in the morning, only to discover that he wasn't home. Off to a great start. So they went to the economic minister's house and started firing bullets into it. 2 guards were killed in the process, but other guards were able to fight back. Tyler Thompson tried to pilot a drone into the house, but couldn't do it because it was too dark. Thanks, Ty. Glad you spent months learning how to do that. The security guards were defending the property so well that Christian decided to skip the ministers altogether and just go after the president. So they went to the Palace of the Nation, the president's residence, and stormed it. To the group's surprise, there were very few guards. So they quickly got comfortable, making themselves at home in the palace and taking to social media to announce their coup. Because if you don't post your hostile takeover, did it really happen? Benjamin started live streaming it to Facebook, which is where we get this lovely image of Christian and Marcel inside the building. Now that's one for the mantle. Christian said on the live stream, "Felix, you are out. We are coming for you." At this point, everyone was feeling great. But despite how comfortable Marcel might look in this photo, the good times did not last. Because at about 5:15 a.m., the DRC military arrived on the scene. Christian had convinced everyone that the military would lay down their arms and join the coup, strengthening the group and allowing them to take the country. Unfortunately for them, none of that happened. The military fired artillery at the palace before storming the building, which prompted most of the men in Christian's group to quickly surrender. And in a matter of minutes, the military had easily defeated the random coalition of poorly trained villagers and corn-fed Utah boys who were expecting to take over a country of 125 million people. And I'm sorry to break this news to you guys, but in the scuffle between the military and the rebels, Christian Malonga was killed. May his memory be a blessing. But in a shocking twist, Marcel Malonga, Tyler Thompson, and late series addition Benjamin Zalman Polan actually managed to escape in the chaos. They ran out of the building towards the nearby Congo River, which separates the Democratic Republic of the Congo from the neighboring Republic of the Congo. Yes, the DRC has a Wario that's somehow even less democratic than them. But despite their best efforts to escape to an even worse country, our American heroes quickly realized that the Congo River was way too dangerous to cross. All they could do was hide in the bushes and hope that the military wouldn't find them. Marcel apparently took this opportunity to snap a friend of his in Utah. Wish you were here. Might lose our streak soon.
Jeez.
By the way. And soon enough, they were captured with the rest of the survivors. The entire coup amounted to 7 deaths, consisting of 2 security guards, 1 civilian, 3 rebels, and 1 Christian Malanga. And with his father dead, Marcel Malanga now found himself trapped in a Congolese prison cell with his old high school punt returner. Okay, that's a bit disingenuous. He took most of his reps at safety. While they were being held, the rest of the world discovered what had happened. The news of Americans being involved confused many people online, with some accusing the boys of being agents of the CIA or Mossad. In reality, they were closer to the Church of Latter-day Saints, and the people who were most shocked were Marcel and Tyler's mothers. Brittany Sawyer showed up at Tyler's mom's house and said, "I don't know how to tell you this. The boys were taken into custody. They've been beaten and they're being tortured. Oh no, and Tyler has malaria." It was 3 weeks after the failed coup that the boys were seen again, when the military tribunal against them began. They were tried alongside Benjamin and 48 other co-conspirators in a trial that took place entirely outdoors under a tarp, because the real crime would be sitting in a courtroom all day and missing out on this lovely Congo weather. Some of the people tried weren't even involved in the coup, such as a Belgian-Congolese researcher who was charged because there was one picture of him and Christian taken back in 2016. But when you're having a trial this big, you might as well toss all your political enemies in there and kill 51 birds with one stone. In the trial, our troubled Americans were charged with weapons possession, terrorism, murder, and attempted assassination. What are you guys smiling about, huh? It's not funny. Sorry, I thought these boys could use a father figure. Unsurprisingly, they all claimed that they were forced into this and that Christian woke them up at gunpoint on the morning of the coup. And knowing Christian, that honestly might be true. But the evidence of Tyler and Marcel flying to Africa with guns and a flamethrower doesn't exactly help their case. In the trial, Marcel claimed he hadn't fired a weapon since he was 5 years old, even though his Instagram had a picture of him at a shooting range with the hashtag train
to kill.
to kill. Your Honor, that was a commentary on railroad violence. Unfortunately, the translator they provided for the boys
Them was rap lyrics. I ain't even meant to know.
barely spoke English, so nothing they said really mattered at all. In the end, 37 of the 51 defendants were sentenced to death, including Marcel, Tyler, and Benjamin.
Brutal, man.
That researcher also got the death penalty, by the way. Shouldn't have taken that picture 8 years ago. But when all hope was lost for the boys, one lucky terrorist attack saved them. While they were appealing their death sentences, the paramilitary group M23, backed by Rwanda, invaded the DRC with an attack that killed over 3,000 people. So with the country facing a third Congo war against an enemy funded by their neighbor, they turned to the United States for help. The DRC promised the US government access to their valuable mineral deposits in exchange for some security. But when you're negotiating with another country, it's not a great look to have some of that country's citizens on death row. And in case the DRC wasn't getting the message, Adam Bowler, the US government's special envoy to hostage response, directly tweeted about it, saying, "The president of Congo is holding 3 Americans now. Perhaps it would be better if Rwanda won the war?" Which is a little bit heavy-handed, but it did get the point across. On April 8th, 2025, the boys were rounded up and shipped back to the United States as a gesture of goodwill. Upon their return, they were met with triumphant cheers, given free F-150s, and hoisted onto Marco Rubio's shoulders. I'm kidding, they were arrested and sent to prison. Look, we'll get you home, but you still attempted to overthrow a foreign government. The 3 men were charged with a number of crimes, as was good old Pete Moser. You can't even purchase and ship the ingredients to construct a pipe bomb in our fascist surveillance state. All 4 of them pleaded not guilty, and they're actually still waiting for that trial to begin as of this video's release. Sorry to leave you guys in suspense, but it looks like the trial's gonna take a while, and I wanted to get this video out. So for now, our old high school teammates are back in Utah, except they're in the Weber County Correctional Facility awaiting their fate. In a recent phone call with reporter Greg Donahue, Marcel revealed that he and Tyler are still close, saying, quote, "I consider him a brother. This hasn't affected us at all. And why should it? If anything, it was a bonding experience. 2 teammates joining forces to fight for the liberation of a country they love in honor of their own heritage." Well, at least that's why Marcel was doing it. Tyler was doing it for the price of a Nissan Sentra. And even though Marcel lost his father in the process, you can always remember him through the memories they made storming the Capitol and murdering civilians. You can also remember him through Christian Malanga's Flickr account, which is still online and contains 500 photos. Wow, imagine if he put this much care into being a father. Now please consider subscribing, or I'll activate the Congo special.
If only. Brutal, dude. Yeah, that is like the most African coded shit ever. Like, that really is. That is the most African coded story probably imaginable. It's like pure, utter incompetence. Holy shit, man. Some stereotypes exist for a reason. Alright, we'll watch one of Raymond's e-girls now. Oh boy. Eating disorders.
In IFS terms, we have something known as exiles. And as a continuation of my last story time video, how growing up with a disability, look at how pretty this candle. Anyways, how growing up with a disability affects.
This is the chick that Raymond claims he wants nothing to do with, bro. She's not even that attractive, guys. He wants nothing to do with her, man. That's why he literally gooned to her on stream.
affected my social life, my dating life, how I was perceived in middle school, having to be in a special ed classroom. And that did not change when I was in high school. I still had to sneak into the special ed classroom to get the extra support and accommodations that I needed. It was just easier to do in high school because you had a lot more freedom. There was a lot more children that didn't know you, so you could just kind of like sneak in and do that. However, that wasn't really the problem. After I began skipping school lunch in only the 7th grade, I began to lose a lot of weight my freshman and sophomore year of high school, to where I was kind of, pretty much not kind of, I was literally underweight. And for some reason,
Probably the best chick he's... Oh, yeah, definitely. Of the ones I've seen, she's definitely the most attractive.
being underweight my sophomore year of high school, I don't know
But dude, he's not interested in her, and it has nothing to do with the fact that she shot him down.
why. I don't know what was wrong with the environment of these schools that I went to, but I got a lot of positive social attention and a lot of positive social feedback. So it wasn't until I had my house fire and a lot of trauma was piling up, but it just all came to the surface, right? And it wasn't until
Yeah, exactly, dude. Shelby Moggs.
after my house fire that I began to spiral out of control because I wasn't getting the attention that I needed. I was getting attention, but not like the good kind of attention. And so what ended up happening is that I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I was binge eating all the time, going from Taco Bell, McDonald's, drive-through after drive-through, listening to my podcast. And the podcast I was listening to felt like my only friends at the time. This was pre-COVID, but hey, I was already preparing for being isolated because that's what an eating disorder does. Something that you men out there may be dealing with that's very similar to me, but in a different way, is once I gained that weird positive social attention and then I gained a bunch of weight, right? And it wasn't like I was morbidly obese or anything, but I just looked completely different like my junior and senior year of high school. I lost all of that social attention. I lost all of that feedback. And that created such a deep exile in me that I began to think that unless I was underweight, unless I was literally underweight, I would not be able to get a boyfriend, have friends, get positive social feedback. So because of the stark difference of the way I was being treated when I was underweight versus the way I was treated when I gained weight is what created this doomsday society thing in my head to where my life changed forever. An eating disorder brought upon so much pain. I went to war with the female body. The female body is not this objectively wonderful materialistic thing that just gives you like coins and points every day. It's been the most painful experience of my life was to be constantly mirror checking, constantly socially isolated because everything that's social involved food. And so in a weird way, when you guys go to the gym or present yourself as more rich or more masculine and you get that positive social feedback, what ends up happening is that creates an
And this would be where Raymond and her, what feedback am I getting from women? I can't even get one to look at me. You know, that would be the interjection right there. That would be the interjection. I lost the weight. I work out and nothing. Bruh. Do you think she's hot? Yeah, I do. I would say so. Yeah, this is definitely the best of Raymond's e-girls that he stalks. 100%. But dude, he's just not even interested, bro. He's too good. "2 weeks of London dungeon is better than 2 years." Oh, what? The African kids? Yeah, definitely.
Exile. And you end up realizing or thinking to yourself, at least, that, oh, the only way I can achieve any of these social
She's pretty mid. Dude, I wish this was mid.
goodies is if I abandon myself to strive for perfection.
This is not mid, bro.
In one of these areas, whether it's my looks, whether it's my fitness, it does not matter. We don't realize how much that still socially affects us.
Like, again, I wish we were living in a world where this would be considered mid, but she's definitely not mid, bro. She is definitely on the higher end of, you know, the attractiveness scale, 100%.
an adult. Now, if I were to gain 10 or 20 pounds, would I be, you know, unable to have friends, get a boyfriend, you know, whatever? Absolutely not. However, now, because of that stark contrast between sophomore and junior year when I was a child, now as an adult, I still deal with demons of, you know, I go to therapy for like food stuff. It still affects me to this day. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think for so many of you, when we get that social feedback, we take it and we run with it. We create a narrative out of it. But Amanda, like, sophomore year you were getting so much positive social feedback. Is there a lie about that? No. It's just that our brains, as a way to protect ourselves, create literally a mental illness, because that's what an eating disorder is. And now, before y'all start judging me, I believe to a certain extent everybody is mentally ill. I've not met one person in my lifetime who wasn't like there was something happening.
I wouldn't call it mentally ill, though. Like, not everything needs to be a diagnosis. You know, it's like, why, if everybody has something wrong with them, then nobody does. Like, people are just different. I don't know. I wouldn't call that an illness at that point. Everybody's just wired differently.
Within them or to them. Life is hard. It's full of suffering. And so sometimes when we don't make ourselves conscious to how much that difference in social feedback creates a demon, and that demon says,
Griffin's definitely ill. Yeah, I've got a sickness of the soul, dude.
okay, unless you're rich, unless you're fit, unless you're good looking, you cannot get a girl. It's not that that's actually true, but there was some point in your life where presenting those things did give you a lot of feedback. Now, does that mean I need to be like 90 pounds like I was in high school? No. And again, if I gain 30, 40 pounds, you know, in a healthy way, would that change my life? Would I stop having friends? No. But the mental illness that stark difference like creates will just go on and on and on and on to the point where you literally think, okay, nothing is possible unless I maintain what I was able to maintain that got me that positive social feedback. But the reality is there could be like a kernel of truth in that, but the reality is that the brain will then take that and run with it and create such a deep wounding. I hope that makes sense, and I'm just trying to be 100% honest.
Dude, you already know Raymond would seethe over that video. He would absolutely fucking seethe over that. Yeah, this is another one of Raymond's victims. I wonder if he commented on this one. Let's see if we can find it. You know, with a lot of his e-girls, he comments on all their videos, so... I don't see anything. Nope. Give her a comment? Why? Oh god, this is gonna be brain rot, dude. Let me bitch
Guys,
about
I want to apologize
Let me bitch about COD every year, but buy it regardless.
for my last video. I really do. I did not have the energy that I normally have in these commentaries, and it's because Call of Duty had sucked all of it out like some New York City hooker. I cannot begin to explain to you how little I give a fuck and how little I gave a fuck watching COD Next today. I do have access to the beta early. I got a code from Discord. I did not pre-order this trash, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to even bother today. So what I'm going to do instead is show you these streamers, most of which I have not heard of, playing this game from the stream today, and I'll consider playing the beta tomorrow or sometime during the week, but I'm just not in the fucking mood. And the disgusting fake bullshit I saw today on these streams is a big reason why I'm not in the mood. So I want to ask you guys, if you could drop a like on this video, give it a thumb up, and drop a support comment. Say whatever, man.
He's just not feeling it, guys.
Say mayonnaise, say hot dog, say something that doesn't make any sense in Arabic. Yeah, more on that later. More on that later. But I want people to find this video. And if you interact with this video, more people find it, because I want everyone that bothers with this shitty game to see exactly the company they are buying a game from. And without further ado, let's just get right on into the meat and potatoes here, because viewer, I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So just 2 days ago, these fucking psychopaths at Activision Blizzard lied to you to the point where they got community noted. Unfortunately, one of those community notes got removed, probably because they paid somebody off behind the scenes, if I'm being honest with you, but they lied about the matchmaking. They gaslit the community about the time the match.
They paid someone behind the scenes to remove community notes. Oh, man. Okay.
All of this stupid fucking shit, and everything they said went against the data they were talking about just like 10 months ago. None of it made sense, and that video will be linked at the end of this video if you want to check it out. I would really recommend you do, because this is the company you're dealing with, and it actually gets worse today somehow. They blatantly lied even more. What am I talking about? Well, I'm going to transition away from this gameplay. I think you guys have already probably had enough, if I'm being completely honest. I can sense your disdain and your disgust through the screen at seeing this Modern Warfare 2019 Modern Warfare 3 love child, which, honest to God, man, even if this game didn't have skill-based matchmaking and terrible matchmaking, it looks really just the same. It doesn't seem like it's very innovative whatsoever, in my opinion. It's just the same old...
You're looking for innovation in a COD game. Your first mistake. I get like you're looking for innovation in Call of Duty. Yeah.
shit. But let me show you
That's what it's the same slop every year, bro.
the stream itself. This is where it gets very, very interesting, okay? I noticed something very off immediately upon clicking
Yeah, dude, there's a girl on screen. Oh my god.
the COD next stream, and I was there from the start.
I mean, oh my science.
Watching. It was the chat. I want you to look at the YouTube chat here and just tell me what you see. Tell me what you notice. I'm not going to talk during this. Just look.
Jew.
So real quick, just pause the video if you want and just write out in the comments what's weird about that chat. Surely someone can see it. And I mean, it's obvious
It looked like it was a bunch of people from Turkey.
here. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. There are a lot of Middle Eastern people in that chat. More than I've ever seen on any Call of Duty
That's right, guys. You gotta be careful. You never know when the lobby might explode.
YouTube video ever, pretty much. In fact, there were so many Middle Eastern people in that chat. I actually went to my analytics personally.
Dude, what the fuck is this game?
I wanted to see how many of my viewers are actually from the Middle East. So I had to dig pretty deep to find this, but in the last 28 days, a whopping 0.4% of my viewers are from Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm glad to have international viewers. Love you guys, no matter where you're at. You know, if you watch
This
the
looks like some almost like bootleg version of Black Ops 3.
content and you enjoy it, hey, you're a friend of mine. But I'm just pointing this out.
Oh, X Defiant. I forgot about that. Yeah, that existed at one point.
Because, man, compared to all the other places in the world, Saudi Arabia and others in that area rank pretty darn low, less than 1% of my total viewership. So I have to ask here, what the fuck happened on this stream where suddenly the entirety of every Middle Eastern country is on a Call of Duty video chatting their fucking asses off? It's a little bit weird, right? Now, you guys know where I'm going with this. I think if you've watched any amount of time, you know exactly where this is headed, but let's just call a spade a spade. This has got to be bullshit, right? So I decided to do a little detective work while I watched the stream because this stream was fucking boring. Haven't used that one in a while, but it was. I actually had to like check out before it even ended. I was so bored, and they lost like 15,000 viewers over the course of it. Not great, but how many of those viewers are even legitimate at this point? Probably not as many as that. I'll be completely honest with you. So I decided to do a little trick with my browser settings where I could translate the Arabic language to English to see what exactly they were talking about here. Because, guys, if this was a legitimate chat room, they would be talking about what's going on stream. I think that's a fair assumption. I don't think I'm stretching the truth there by any means. I think that's what would happen. If I am streaming me on a pogo stick, most of the comment section, most of the chat would be talking about me on the pogo stick. Wouldn't you agree with that? Can we all unanimously agree that's what the fucking chat would be, right? Let's see what these people were saying, okay? Let's look at this. So this guy right here actually managed to get a nuke. Now, if it was legit or not, I have no idea. It could have been entirely set up for the event for all I fucking know because nothing this company does is legitimate. So either way, he got a nuke. You can see it in the background, right? I even scrolled up a little bit in chat to match the chat, which was going very fast with the nuke as he was calling it in. I mean, if you've seen anyone on Twitch or whatever, you'll know that the chat will go crazy and they'll be like, nuke and blah, 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 blah. You know, they're all talking about the fucking nuke that just dropped because it's a very rare, very hard thing to do. This is common sense, correct? Let's actually translate the chat here. Let's zoom in and look at the chat on the right to see what they were saying. Blue hearts, pink crying emojis, work now, give me the code, Jojo, yellow heart, that one might be real. The code came, sad, green heart, Karaji, I'm not gonna read that one because it seems a little racist. Alcatraz back, I think the racist one might be legit though.
Wait. Do you know most of them are Iranians because CP is expensive in Iran and abroad? Their currency is cheap and Iranians will pay 3 or 4 million because they can afford it? How is that racist?
Now if you give code, gold medal, hello friends, until live, you ball
How is that racist?
is in the game, no codes or rewards
You're based Call of Duty commentator, sire.
will be given. Sir, the power went out. Crying emoji, Kuzestan, heart. Wait, this is not a legitimate chat! This is a botted fucking Arabic chat to make it look like the chat is popping the fuck off for this mid-ass game. I'm gonna start calling it Midterm Warfare. Midterm Warfare 4. It's fucking mid. Most people that are actually legitimate, if they type anything out about this game, are trashing it, and trashing the Activision higher-ups, and trashing the Call of Duty community manager. More on that later. I will cover that. Don't worry. But this is not a legitimate chat room. I mean, I did this several times at different parts. Here's more. We'll give you the code. We love Ahmed. Blah, 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 blah. Big belly. All Iranians are great. Iranians. I feel like I'm watching a Trump speech or something. Javed Shah. Webb. Sapphire. What is all of this drivel? Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm sure there are actual people here. I saw people actually trying to have a conversation and actually trying to comment about the game in English and Arabic. So I'm sure there are a few people. But, I mean, you can click on these names here, and you can actually see a pattern going on if you really look. You guys see the pattern. There's like this name, and then there's a hyphen, and then 3 characters after. Just in the screenshot alone, look at this. There's several of them. There's Matin C5P. There is Poya Z2Z. There is Aram Amini X1 whatever. There is Mitrakani F6Q. Ali Barami Q8D. Do you see the pattern here? What are the odds of this happening? Like in one screenshot of the chat. I actually clicked on some of the names. Okay, I went to their YouTube channels. Look at this. It gets juicier. Here's Farshad Garibi, C9F with the 3 characters and shit. He joined today, August 21st, 2026. Several. All of these names with the weird hyphen and the 3 characters at the end, they're not fucking real people. This trillion-dollar company is so fucking narcissistic and pathetic that they have to bot their own streams to make it look like the shit's popping off and it's popular. Nothing this company does is honest. They are dripping with insincerity. It's again, like a New York City hooker's pussy.
But why do you expect anything? Again, a company's behaving like a company. Oh, my science! I need to make an angry video about it.
Nothing is legitimate about these people. And look, this might seem crazy. Maybe you still don't believe it. Maybe you think I'm just saying this for the sake of it. Guys, they pulled this same shit last year. Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, who? Again, I don't fucking care, bro. Like, is the game fun to play or not? Like, none of this shit. Oh, dude, they're botting their chat. Okay, maybe they aren't. Maybe they are. Or maybe some Arabic fucking content creator that was featured in the event, you know, told his fans to, like, flood the fucking chat. Who knows? Like, does it really fucking matter? Like, is the game good or not is the question we should be asking, but...
Remember, now, I don't think I really covered this because I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but Nero covered it, so let me just transition to his video on Black Ops 7 here, okay? Look at this.
The reception to the reveal has been completely underwhelming as well. Over on Twitch, the chat was barely moving, and a lot of the time people were just talking about Battlefield or talking about how the game looks.
I decided to check out the Twitch chat and the Twitch stream, and I saw that they had 34,000 viewers, but look at the chat on the right. It's like the opposite here. I even said hi, by the way. They didn't ban me.
Yeah, most people don't fucking chat.
So that's insane. But regardless, I checked it out, and it's like, it's not moving at all. It might be botted, view botted, but the chat is really fucking slow for 35,000 people. I mean, this looks like my chat when I...
Yeah, but maybe they're just watching. It's not like they're interacting with a real person streaming. They're watching a corporate event.
To like 300 concurrent viewers back in the day. It's honestly slower than that, if I'm being real. This is not real life. I don't know what it is.
Twitch drops were probably enabled for beta keys too, so people probably just had it open in another tab.
About this company. They cannot just accept reality and just be honest. That's all we want. If you're going to fuck us over, at least tell us so we can lube up. You know what I'm saying? Can I get an amen in the fucking chat? A real one. I don't want botted amens. God, man. I guess this is a good like transition point to talk about the people actually invited to COD Next, the streamers and stuff like that. Now, Activision has said in the past few years, they don't want just the same name showing up as they invite the same names, the Z-Laners, the Tim the Tatmans, all those guys. Now, look, man, I feel really just out of touch with the modern Call of Duty community. I do. I've been around so long, and all the guys...
Dude, they should have invited me.
Guys that I once knew doing this have pretty much quit. But I was watching this stream.
Could have shouted racial slurs in the official stream chat to signal that Call of Duty's back, baby.
In particular, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are, pretty much. I really don't. There were a few, obviously, that I know of in the community. There's Noisy Butter. She's a very nice person. I know Z-Laner, like I said. But for the most part, it would like pan around, and I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. Well, I got a DM from Foley yesterday, and I thought back to it, so I don't think he'll mind me kind of paraphrasing this stuff and reading it off. So let's hit up the Scatman himself and see what he has to say. So Foley basically messaged me 2 days ago, and he says, yo, brother, you seeing all the shit online, the COD Next drama, them responding to some of us, the SBMM statement they just made. And I say, I saw the SBMM stuff, but what else is happening? He told me they have doxers going to the event. They have people who have doxed people in real life going to the event. VTubers, and people with literally less than 100 followers. Rick tweeted at them and dragged me into this fat-ass mess. My mentions are going insane because the community account replied. So the Rick says, while you're at it, you can send me and Fully COD a COD Next invite too if you want people who are brutally honest involved. Because I ain't gonna lie, the next lineup so far is beyond pathetic. And the Call of Duty community manager replies and says, don't be rude to your fellow content creators. Interesting take. And this fucking hypocrite, literally, like, I'm serious, was rude to his fellow content creators. I'm not kidding. This man basically was a snarky fucking asshole to Modern Warzone to the point where Charlie Intel had to call him out and tell him to shut the fuck up. When the bigger shill accounts are telling you to shut the fuck up, you're being an asshole. You are being an extreme asshole. I'm not kidding with all that. We'll get the Foolie's response and the Rick's response in just a second, but let me segue into this really quick.
Sorry, you know, the high school drama is starting to put me to sleep. This is like so fucking retarded. Yeah, he is jealous he wasn't invited.
This Call of Duty cocksucker says the duality of man, that is all. And Modern Warzone said a few days ago, people will complain about anything these days, my God. And then on the right there, it's a little hard to see because it's a pretty big tweet, but the tweet is just giving feedback. He's giving feedback to Call of Duty on his Twitter. It's not complaining. It's not like just dragging them through the mud or whatever. It's literal positive feedback. And this cocksucker, this Call of Duty CM cocksucker, is doing this like Simpsons chef kiss gif in response to this no-name loser random ass Twitter account talking shit about a valued community member with this tweet. You know, this wasn't tweeted at the CM. This motherfucker found it on his timeline or in his algorithm or whatever and responded to it. It's so disrespectful and unprofessional. Charlie Intel replies to this, ratios the fuck out of him, and says, Modern Warzone is right, and this is a garbage tweet. I'll get back to the CM account and more of their stupidity later, but I want to cover what initially was said there with Foolie and the Rick and whatnot on Twitter. So let me just get right into that before I get sidetracked. Sorry, there's a lot to cover. I'm all over the place. Here we go. This is Foolie's official response. How do I say this respectfully? You've invited a well-documented doxer, several people who promote boosting services, and a bunch of randos with low viewership respectfully because they speak well of the franchise. Meanwhile, other creators, not just me before you think this is about jealousy, with significantly higher viewership and influence get random responses like this.
Oh my God, guys, they invited someone to an event that they didn't do a full fucking FBI level background check. Like, again, this is just so retarded, man. I just don't care. Who the fuck cares?
I get it, the critical videos are not for the sensitive.
Oh my God, dude, Call of Duty invited a Call of Duty creator that did something bad in the past, and they didn't literally dig up every bit of fucking dirt possible about this person before they invited them? How could you? Like, holy shit, man. This is just... I don't care about this stuff to any degree to even remotely give a fuck.
But when creators like us actually do give you guys valid feedback and have provided feedback that eventually does get addressed after years of posting videos with an accumulated tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views, it paints a picture of the type of creators you want there. I've said many positive things about MW4 and the devs, and I get what the historical stigma is around our channels, but the constant blackballing prevents more than just the creators from having a positive outlook on you guys. It prevents our viewers from the exact same thing. Shout out to my fellow content creators, though. I'm sure a handful of that 1,000 will actually have an honest bone in their body to push for improvements. Good shit. And he's exactly right. The Rick then responds to that and says they won't respond because they know they have no defense. Literally inviting doxers, people promoting boosting services, and even perma-banned creators were invited out. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, it's no wonder I don't know who the majority of the people there were. Whoever's behind the CM account, I'm sorry, but they're a fucking idiot. Or maybe they're just being told to be a fucking idiot by the higher-ups. I'm not exactly sure. But like, this guy asked a very reasonable question, and he gets the dumbest reply ever. He asked, why can't we just use purely the Black Ops 2 system, like the matchmaking system? It worked well in 2012 and 2013, and works well in 2026. Also, during the beta, will changes be made for matchmaking based off external and internal feedback? We can't use the old system because the main difference is topology. We're using dedicated servers in modern titles, which provide clear benefits, over listen servers, which make your machine not only run... Like, this is not what he asked. He asked for the...
No, that is what he asked.
Exact same matchmaking algorithm that has nothing to do with what's fucking running the map.
No. Okay. Let me explain this for the retards in the back. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and the modern COD matchmaking system are not remotely similar. In Black Ops 2, you pick one game mode to matchmake on. In Black Ops 2, there is no, like, oh, go from team deathmatch to domination to S&D to hardpoint to kill confirmed, then all the way back through. Like, that doesn't exist. In the modern CODs, you can matchmake on any different combination of game modes. So, you know, unless everyone has the exact same list of game modes selected in that lobby, it is literally impossible to replicate the Black Ops 2 matchmaking system. So, again, this is just a basic understanding of how the games are set up. It doesn't work that way anymore. You don't pick one mode and that's it. You're matchmaking on 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 different modes in some cases. And every single person in the lobby has a different combination of that. So, again, a lot of this just comes down to being disingenuous, I feel like. Because this is not hard to understand.
That's being played, whether it's an old Xbox 360 as the host or your dog shit cloud servers, which give everyone packet burst, that doesn't matter. This guy is a fucking moron. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but this is not what he asked. And if I can see it, why is a guy who works for the company getting paid probably 6 figures, why can't he see it? Why can't he see what this person means? He then goes on to say, of course, feedback and player data shape how we adjust matchmaking. That is not true at all. That is not true. Player data is made up, and we've proven that player data is a complete farce. And feedback, we've been giving it for 7 years, to which they only, met our needs when their sales were in the fucking gutter. That's why I keep telling you guys, don't even bother with Modern Warfare 4. It's not worth it. We'll never get what we want if we keep bending the knee to these fucking assholes. Let me cover some more stuff, though, because this guy got dragged for this one. On Nuketown 24/7, quit rates jumped to 141%. Our most competitive players were leaving 1 in every 3 matches. Taking stats from Nuketown 24/7 is genuinely the most IW thing they've ever done. What's next? Taking stats from Shipment 24/7? This guy does not get it. Every content creator I saw talking about this brought up the same exact points, from me to Nero to T-Dog. This guy says, so don't use or track data from some of the most popular playlists of all time? Yes, exactly. They're popular for a fucking reason. They're not playing to win the game. They're playing the match to unlock whatever grinding bullshit they have in the game, because that's the only fun you can have playing Modern COD. And then as soon as they get what they want and they unlock what they want, they back the fuck out, they put it on their gun, and they drool and suck their fucking thumbs while they stare at it for about 15 seconds before taking...
Well, dude, no. People play Shipment 24/7 for like hours and hours on end, myself included. Like, again, a lot of this comes down to these motherfuckers just being burnt out on COD. Like, all they've done is played COD, talked about COD, get angry about COD. Their entire life is Call of Duty. You're just burnt out on it, bro. Like, it's as simple as that. You just don't enjoy the games anymore.
Another 3 minutes to join another shipment lobby and do the same thing over and over. They do not care about wins and losses. Do you know why they don't care about wins and losses, and why they leave as soon as they get what they want? Because this is not a competitive game. We're not playing ranked, you fucking idiot. I'm sorry for yelling, but how can you be this stupid and work for the fucking company as the mouthpiece? How is it possible? Like, dude, I am sitting here for free, sweating my ass off yelling, because how do you not get it? Every content creator gets it. Dude, these people, I thought maybe they're just really malicious. Maybe they're just really narcissistic and they're just assholes. No, I think they are that. But I think the other half of them is just utter fucking incompetence. The other half is just pure stupidity. They have no logic, is what I'm trying to say. They lack basic common sense. I can't. Let's check out one more thing, though, this account said before I have a heart attack. I can't cover any more after this.
Dude, how do you get this mad over this type of shit, bro? Like, this is crazy.
Okay? While we cite Black Ops 7...
This is a totally sane and mature individual, by the way, guys. I think he's like 40. So he's over a decade older than me.
As we discuss open matchmaking for obvious reasons, the data and learnings we consider when making decisions span multiple decades. Okay. We saw feedback that...
Yeah, it's his whole shtick. He's forced to talk about COD no matter how little he cares about it.
Some players didn't like 2019 matchmaking. Yeah, no shit. Some? Okay. We see feedback that some players didn't like open matchmaking. Before I even read any more, I gotta ask, where? Show me 100 examples of people on Reddit not liking the open matchmaking that we had in the Black Ops 7 beta. I didn't see a single fucking soul, and I am kind of chronically online, it's my job. I didn't see a single fucking soul saying that they didn't like the Black Ops 7 open matchmaking. In fact, that was the fucking selling point! So that's just a complete lie! We have players...
Holy shit, bro.
Players asking us for dedicated servers on the PS4/PS5 ports of BO1 and BO2 in 2026. Okay, that's not, they don't want skill-based matchmaking, though. They want a better connection and more security from the hackers. That has nothing to do with it. Like, this guy is brain dead. I am sorry, but he is. We believe that the system we're moving...
Dude, the matchmaking system is built off of peer-to-peer matchmaking. Like, that's the whole thing. Dedicated servers account for, basically, ping. I don't know, man. They're more focused on your geographic location versus, your stability with other... I don't know. This whole thing is just fucking retarded. I don't want to get into the whole science behind server tech because I'm probably woefully ill-informed, but, dude, peer-to-peer and dedicated servers are two very fucking different things. Very fucking different.
Forward managed to solve some of those key concerns and is our best yet. We are committed to adjusting and improving in the pursuit of fun. Charlie Intel replies, and ratios, this cocksucker yet again.
Ooh, ratio.
Gotta figure out how to balance the data and public perception. Constantly saying the data says this while everyone perceives the system is broken is a problem, and you guys can't data saying this your way out of it, because this isn't going to make anyone happy. If this is the hill they want to die on, they can die on it without me playing their game and with me actively telling all of my viewers as one of the bigger content creators on the platform for Call of Duty to not fucking bother. You guys know, I don't tell you what to do. I suggest things, I give you warnings, but I don't say, hey, don't buy this game or you're part of the problem. I'm saying that this year. Do not buy Modern Warfare 4. Do not even play the beta, honestly. If this is the matchmaking they want to push out, it's clear that they just don't get it anymore. So why in the fuck should we just have this blind hopium that they're going to change their ways one day? Even if they come out and they say, hey, this beta, you know what, guys, you're right. This beta, we need the open matchmaking from Black Ops 7 7 back. We're going to put it in. You were right. They are just going to change it later. You know what I mean? Like, they specifically said, and I covered this in a video, they specifically said that at launch, Black Ops 7 would have open matchmaking. They did not say anything about taking it away later on in the game's lifespan, later on in the year. And lo and behold, that wording was very specific for a reason, so they didn't get their asses.
But why would they take it away? See, this is what's so retarded about this argument. Okay, they put it in the game at first. If it's as wonderful as you said it was, it boosts people in like their enjoyment of the game, etc. Why would they take it out? Why would it be removed from the game if it was this massive success? Everybody loved it. Players were happy. Like, they have zero incentive to change to skill-based matchmaking from, you know, peer-to-peer whatever if, you know, it was a massive success. Like, how does it serve Activision's interest to take away something that people supposedly loved? They probably saw that most people were not staying in the same lobbies as long as they were when, you know, skill-based matchmaking is enabled. Because, you know, the brutal truth is skill-based matchmaking does make for a competitive experience. You know, you have one good match, then you have a shitty match, and you're like, well, fuck, now I need to play another one so I can do well again. And it, like, keeps you in that cycle of constantly wanting to keep playing. So, and that's the end game here. Versus getting blown out time after time after time after time after time. But I don't know. I'm sure they have data to back this shit up, bro. They have the player data of every single person who plays this game, how long they stay in matches, the amount of time, like proportion-wise to how long the match lasted versus how long they were in there, etc. Like average play sessions. All of that stuff's easy to track from the back end from Activision's side. So I'm sure they have the actual data for this.
Sued! Everything they say has a hidden meaning, a hidden agenda. They're always running everything by a lawyer, so we, the players, can't sue their fucking asses off. Like, when will you guys see it? I'm sitting up here yelling into the void, I feel like, because I want every single...
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna sue Call of Duty because they changed their matchmaking. Oh my god.
Call of Duty player, even if you're a fucking moron, to just take in what I'm saying and digest it and sit with it and stew on it. Please. If you guys enjoyed this video, can you do me a motherfucking favor and just hit the like button and like I said, drop a comment below, a support comment. It could be anything. I don't care. Spam emojis like the stupid fucking Arab bots in the...
Get your blood pressure checked, bro.
COD next stream today. I really don't give a fuck. I just want people to see my videos and take this in. Please. If I have to do my entire video...
Dude, do you know who he sounds? He sounds like a Synthetic Man's brother, Lord Frogmire. They had the same cadence.
Videos ad-free. I will do it. I will make an hour-and-a-half movie ad-free if you want. Going over everything. If it would get like 1 million views and reach as many people as possible. I'm sorry for crashing out, but like, dude, I have been saying it for so long, and it's just like nobody fucking gets it except us, except like my community and the content creators community and stuff like that. If you buy this game this year and play it, you are part of the problem. And as far as me playing the beta, I'm still debating it. I'm still debating it because, like, dude, I'm just so fucking tired. Legitimately, this is not an act. This is not for fun. This is not part of the YouTube persona. I am so fucking tired, man. I'm getting too old to be jerked.
Yes, dude, you are too old to be obsessing over something you obviously don't fucking like. Like, pack it up, Unc. Do something else.
The fuck around. Just the thought of taking the time to download the Modern Warfare 4 beta and the thought of waiting on it to install and the update requires restarts and the time sync. I mean, look at this. This is my Game Boy Advance SP booting up The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. It takes like 7 seconds to go from power on to playing the game. I don't have time to...
Oh my god.
Sit there and update. I don't have the patience for some live service update thing to come out and ruin my experience because the devs or the studios or the higher ups don't know what the fuck they're doing. I boot up The Legend of Zelda and it's the same game that I played when it came out. It can't be taken from me. It can't be updated. I won't lose it to some fucking Sony rights issue or whatever. It's a physical cartridge that I have.
Oh god, dude, it's turning into fucking PlayStation physical discs. I'm soying out, dude.
Have this game available to play anywhere in the world I want. No bullshit, no time wasted. I turn it on and I play it like God intended. You know, I'm sorry for yelling so much this video. I'm literally sweating here. Sweat is careening off of my forehead. And I guess that's the last thing I want to cover here, okay? One more thing. I'm sorry. This is a long video. One more thing. I was actually watching the COD next stream, and I think the point where I had to turn it off is they kept switching the camera to this guy who was just like all forehead up in the camera. I'm sitting here trying to eat mac and cheese. Y'all motherfuckers fuck with Goodles. You ever had some Goodles? I ain't sponsored, by the way. I wish. But no, Goodles is good shit. I'm sitting there eating my mac and cheese, you know, and this dude's nasty, greasy forehead is all up in my screen. It's like the entire fucking screen. Back the fuck off, man. It ain't that serious. Get your forehead out of my forehead. I don't want to see that. I'm trying to eat mac and cheese and watch this shitty, boring-ass Modern Warfare 4 experience. Look, that's all I got, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and again, I hope this.
God, dude. Holy. I cannot imagine being that fucking worked up over video games, especially a game you claim to hate. Like, fuck, bro. Holy shit. Ugh. Dude. I'm tired just from watching that now. Shit, dude, I feel like I need to get a high blood pressure test. It might have fucking, you know, transferred through the fucking monitor and headphones. Jeez. Let's see. So Hunter Eats Hunter with the 2. Griff, you like Jet Set Radio? I have never personally played it, so I could not say if I do or do not. And Chronicle with the 100 Joules. Appreciate it, bro. Raymond with the 2. Yeah, I can check what that is. And Even Star with the 5. I would like to share a platinum trophy that I guarantee you 100% will appreciate it after Imager. What, like Imager.com? Let me see. Oh, wait, how do you spell Imager? Fuck. I already forgot. Okay, IMGUR. .com/ that didn't do anything. Oh, nice, man. Very nice. Looking good, bro. It's a good screenshot, too. Very nice. Quit gooning, but I just began.